Hey everybody, what's going on? Hopefully you're having a good time on the table so far. I am here with the one who hasn't stopped dancing since rooftop night. Reruns, how's it going, buddy?
I'm doing great. Doing awesome.
That's good to hear. So Reruns, during rooftop night, you were the star of the show. You started doing the worms, started busting out some crazy dance move, and you're also throwing out some crazy bets there. Tell me about rooftop night.
Rooftop night was super special to me, and I know a lot of the players who went. It was something completely new, completely different, and it was less about the competitive aspect of the game and really showcase like the friendships and the social aspect and really let the community just kind of, everyone's rooting for everyone, and it was really nice to see that.
So Reruns, I've known you for a while now. You're a competitive poker player. You love playing on the tables. We got so many events coming up on Sunny Stacks, starting from 5,000 going all the way up to 100 million. I want to ask, what's your approach to Sunny Stacks? What events are you going to be playing in? And, what's kind of your strategy going into Sunny Stacks?
I'm going to be playing in as many of the main events as I can. I really want to see if I can get up there on the leaderboard for it. I know everyone's been super competitive during these MPTs and stuff like that, but I think Sunny Stacks is really where I'm going to try and push to get on that list of those really good players. So I'll be playing a lot of them. As far as strategy goes, it's going to depend on how I'm running. Obviously, if I'm running hot, I'm betting big, but I plan on being very aggressive during this tournament.
So Reruns, I want to thank you so much for taking the time and doing this interview. It's always appreciative when you come on, and I've known you for a long time. You're a dance icon, but before you wrap things up, I got to ask, do you want to give any shout-outs to anybody?
Of course. I want to shout out to Benny18, Crybaby Katie, Jess, Cutie Pie, and everyone who came out to Rooftop Night the other night.
So Reruns, I want to thank you so much for taking the time again and doing this. It's always a pleasure having you on. But we got to get back to some Sunny Stacks action, so why don't we head back to the poker action, hey?
That's good.
See everybody. Hey everybody, hopefully you're having an awesome time at the table so far. I am here with a community favorite, somebody that you can go to for help anytime. Penguins, how are you doing today, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you doing, Sublime?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. So Penguins, I've known you for a very long time, played lots of poker with you, seen you on the Discord, seen you in our Twitch channels. I gotta ask you, what brings you back into the PokerStars VR fold each and every single day?
It's the players. It's the community. It's actually a lot of fun to interact with people around the world. It is so nice to be able to help out, but at the same time also meet people from every walk of life. It's really an amazing community and unmatched with any other thing I can think of. So being involved with that, chatting with that, hanging out, having fun is always just a blast.
So Penguins, I know you to be an awesome MTT player. You've won a couple bracelets. You got, a couple championships under your belt. I got to ask, with this month-long format of Sunny Stacks, what's your strategy going into it? There's going to be a bunch of different events, bunch of different buy-in levels. It's not like a typical MPT where it's once a weekend. This is all month long. So what's your strategy going into Sunny Stacks?
Well, unfortunately, I got that pesky job during the day some of these days, so I can't play every single event every day. You'll probably see me on in the evenings or on the weekend, but I will just, when I have an opening in my schedule, I'm going to hop on, play, and do my absolute best to not sunburn my stack. I want to make that stack extra sunny, extra bright, but you never know, so I'm going to give it my best shot. I'll probably just play the ones more convenient for my schedule, as long as it's not that 250 million one. That's a little bit above where I want to play, but I'm going to be cheering on everyone in those ultra high roller events, absolutely for sure. But you never know. If I hit it big, you might see me there too.
So Penguins, I want to thank you so much for coming on and doing this interview. It's always awesome to see you, and it's always awesome to hear the puns that you make up on these interviews. It's always fantastic. But before you wrap things up, as tradition goes, you want to give any shout-outs to anybody who might be watching now or watching on YouTube?
You guys know who you are, my friends that I love interacting with, punning with, the people who put up with all those puns and my jokes and everything. But I just absolutely just love seeing familiar faces. So if I see you out there, you know exactly who you are, and wish you all the best of luck, and have a great one and enjoy those Sunny Stacks.
Yes, indeed. Enjoy the Sunny Stacks, but Penguins, thank you again so much for taking the time and doing this. But let's hop right back in to the Sunny Stacks action. See everybody. Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm here with the one, the only Camp Guy. Camp Guy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Glad to be here.
So Camp Guy, Sunny Stacks is on the horizon, and we have so many events to choose from, starting at 5,000, going all the way up to 100 million. I want to ask you, what events do you plan on playing in? Main events, high roller events? Or are you just going to try to play them all?
I am going to try and play as many as I can. As a summer camp director, this is my busy time. Our first campers arrive this weekend, so it's going to be tough, but I'm going to try and get in there and get as many games in as I can.
So Camp Guy, I've seen you at a bunch of final tables. I've known you for a long time. You're an awesome poker player. What advice would you give to somebody who's making it in Sunny Stacks for the first time on that final table competing for those awesome Sunny Stack shades?
Hey, take a deep breath when you get to that final table. Enjoy the view. Watch the players around you and see how they're playing. Don't jump right in right away. Maybe I always like to check out the stats and look and see if I can figure out who is more a cash game player and who's more of a tournament player, because there are different playing styles there. And so with cash game players, I usually let them knock each other out before I really get started in playing stuff like that. But tournament players who've gone a long way, they're the ones I think you got to watch out for.
So Camp Guy, I want to thank you so much for taking the time and doing this interview. I really do appreciate it. But before you wrap things up, would you like to give a shout out to anybody who's watching now or maybe watching later?
I would love to give a couple shout outs. One to Pickle and Dino, whose raises I respect. To Sausage and Cyber for always having the nuts. To Misfit and OG Dave and Catfish for all those times I've sucked out on them at the river. And last but not least, to my oldest and first poker friend, Rebel Latour.
Yeah, Rebel is a gem, isn't she? But thank you again so much, Camp Guy, for taking the time and doing this. But why don't we get back into the poker action, eh?
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Hey, everybody. Hopefully you're having an awesome time on the table so far. I am here with the one, the only, High on Pop. How are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
I am doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. So High on Pop, we see you on the tables all the time during the streams, but we also see you in the chat a lot as well. I gotta ask, what entices you to come back to the stream every single time?
Well, I have a lot of fun in those streams, actually. The community is great. The people are great. You get a chance to win some items, credits, some chips even. And, it's definitely entertainment. For when you're not playing, I find myself definitely watching.
So Sunny Stacks is on the horizon. We got so many events to choose from. We got all the way from 5,000 starting all the way up to 100 million. I got to ask you, what events do you plan on playing in during Sunny Stacks, and what's your strategy kind of going into Sunny Stacks?
Well, I plan on playing for sure enough events to get the items that they're offering. So I think that's 4 events per week. And I do believe they're having satellites, so we can chase the big tournaments, and that's I'm gonna hit as many of those as I can, play as tight as I can, try to go as far as I can, and just see where the chips land. You never know.
So High on Pop, I want to thank you so much for always coming out on the streams and supporting us, but for also doing this interview as well. So before we wrap things up, do you want to give any shout outs to anybody?
Sure. I would like to give out a shout out to Pup Rock, my buddy, and Baby Steps Bob, and all the rest of my friends that I play with. They're dear to me. I've grown to meet a lot of good people in PokerStars VR. It's definitely the place to play for me, and I thank you guys for being my friends.
Well, that's awesome to hear. I want to thank you again for taking the time and doing this interview, but let's get right back into the poker action, eh?
Sure. Great for having me here. I appreciate you guys.
Awesome. Hey everybody, hopefully you're having an awesome time on the table so far. I am here with somebody who's always in our Discord, always in our Twitch channel. His name is Nico Capel. Nico, how are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing amazing, Sublime. How about you?
I am doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. So Nico, you're a very prominent community member. We see you all the time in the Twitch streams, all the time on the Discord. I want to ask you, what brings you back to PokerStars VR every single day?
I think the main point is probably the community. I just love playing with all the different players, all the amazing players, and just playing poker in general.
So Nico, Sunny Stacks is on the horizon and there's so many events to choose from. Buy-ins ranging from 5,000 to 100 million. Events happening all month long. I want to ask you, what events do you plan on playing in, and what's your strategy going into Sunny Stacks?
I'm probably just trying to play most of the middle stacks, because my bankroll isn't the biggest currently. And strategy-wise, probably just playing solid poker and trying to win as much as I can.
So Nico, I want to thank you so much for not only being such an awesome community member, being a part of the Discord, coming to our Twitch streams, always supporting us, but for taking the time and doing this interview. But before we wrap things up, I always give an opportunity to shout out anybody on the stream. Would you like to give anybody a shout out?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to all the amazing developers and players of the game. Without all of you guys, the game wouldn't be the same. So yeah, I just want to give a big shout out to all of you guys.
Well, thank you for that, Nico, and I want to thank you again for taking the time and doing this. But we got some Sunny Stacks action to get back to, so why don't we hop back on over to that?